Chanel, the brand hustler, and this is a channel for all of my hustle babes who are interested in gaining insight on the entrepreneurial journey while learning essential marketing and business tips for their brand. If that sounds like you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the Hustle Babe community. So today I am peeling back the curtain. I am brewing the tea for you guys to sip because I am sharing with you the method that I use to set goals. Now, this is not no regular goal setting method. This is something that I have done through what I learned in college with a mixture of what I did in corporate America with a little bit of added spice on top to give me this method that I am going to share with you guys today. When I tell you that this method is, aside from God, thank you, Jesus, aside from God, this method is the sole reason for my success. Like, this is the reason why I was able to hit 6 figures in a short amount of time within my business. This is the reason why I'm able to see almost consistent 6-figure quarters right now. Y'all, this right here is the secret sauce, and I am going to tell you all about it in today's video. So if you are excited for that, go ahead and grab your notebook because you're gonna need it. As you can see, I got my dry erase board here, so you're gonna need a notebook. Grab your pen, grab your tea, and take a seat because I am going to be sharing this method with you today. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Before I even tell you guys about the method I use, I wanna tell you why it is important for you to set goals, right? So we hear the word goals, and I feel like some people think it's just like this thing. It's just something you just need to throw out there into the universe and wait for it to fall into your lap. But I don't agree with that, okay? I believe in setting actionable goals, right? So going after what you want. So for me, the reason I feel like it is important for you to set goals is because you give yourself something to achieve and you give yourself something to track. Without goals, you cannot grow your business because it will be as if you're just throwing random things at the wall, hoping for it to stick. And when you actually do reach a level of achievement, you won't know because you didn't set goals in the first place to actually realize what you're achieving when it happens, okay? So it is very important for you to set goals like in your business, in your life, just in general, because it just helps so much, right? I was blessed enough to see 6 figures about the midway of 2020. And if you have been subscribed to this channel for a while, or if you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I actually started my business April 2019, like mid-April 2019, okay? So I didn't start at the beginning of 2019. I started kind of halfway through the year. And so in about a year, I was able to see my first 6 figures within my business. And right now, we actually tend to average very close to the 6-figure mark every quarter. And that is all because I set goals and I am very strategic about how I set these goals. And I use the method that I'm gonna share with you right here, right now, okay? So if you haven't set goals for your business, I need you to at least comment down below letting me know a goal that you plan on setting right now, okay? And if you already have set goals for your business, comment what's one of your major goals that you set for this year and how far are you from achieving it, okay? So if you haven't set goals, set those goals right now. And if you have set goals, comment below what the biggest goal is for you to achieve this year and how far are you from actually achieving that goal, because I want to chat it up with you. I want to know, I want to hold you accountable. So comment that down below. Now that I've talked a little bit about why goals are important, I want to tell you kind of why I started to use this method, right? So I started buying a bunch of planners, and what I noticed when I was buying planners is that they would give me an area to list like my goal for the month or sometimes just my goal for the year, and then it would give me like a little to-do list area where I had to write down what I planned on achieving for like the day and for the week, right? And what I realized is that I was pulling a lot of these things like out of thin air because there was no real structure or no explanation behind the task that I was writing down. There was no real definition or no real step-by-step of how to actually set those goals. So I realized that I wasn't using my planner to the full potential because I didn't know what exactly to put in there, right? And, if you struggle with that as well, go ahead and agree with me in the comments. But this is what I kept noticing. And planner after planner, I would buy a ton of them, and none of them will actually get the job done. And then that's when I thought to myself, okay, let me reach into this big old head of mine and think about what I actually learned when I went to college, what I actually was doing when I was working in corporate America. And then I figured out what the method was that I needed to use to set my goals. You may see that other people use this method because I have taught this to my one-on-one clients. I also teach this to the members of the eHustle Club. And if you don't know what the eHustle Club is, please click the link in my description box so that you can learn about it. But I teach this to them, and I stay on top of them about setting goals, because goals is literally the heartbeat of everything in your business. And this particular method that I use is actually the heartbeat of a marketing plan. At least that's how I teach it. So the fact that this method was the heartbeat of a marketing plan, but it wasn't being used to set goals by entrepreneurs, it kind of baffled me when I thought about it. And I was like, it only makes sense to use the same method that is the core of a marketing plan to set my goals, so that way I can achieve my goals faster. It was like, ta-da! So that's how this method came about. So now I want to share with you the 3 areas you should set goals in for your business. And then I want to share with you the method that I use to set goals. And then I'm going to give you an active example of how you can set goals within your business. So let's get to it. So the 3 areas that you should be setting goals within for your business are financial. And so what I mean by financial, these are your sales and your revenue goals, right? And if you didn't know, sales and revenue are actually 2 different things. So sales pertain to the sales of your product or your service, and revenue is everything period that you make within your business. So let's say you decide to host an event and you decide to charge to attend that event. Because that is not an exchange of your product or your service, that is just you selling tickets as an admission tactic to that event, that technically counts towards your revenue and not towards your sales. And so, for example, in my business, I offer coaching services. I have the eHustle Club program. And so any exchange of membership within the eHustle Club or any exchange of a coaching session, that counts towards my sales. But when I make YouTube videos, for example, and your girl gets a check from that, when I get that check, that actually counts towards my revenue, because I'm not actually exchanging a service or a product with you guys. I'm simply just dropping gems, and Google is appreciating me for it, okay? So that is the first area, is financial goals within your business. The second area you should be setting goals within are growth, okay? So you should be setting growth goals. So this is going to be different depending on what your focus is for that month or that quarter or that year. Growth can be seen in many different ways, right? So for example, if I was focused on growing the membership to the eHustle Club, I may be focused on growing the amount of members that I am recruiting. Or if I was focused on growing awareness for my brand or growing my Instagram profile, for example, I may be focused on building my follower count, building my engagement, expanding my reach on Instagram, right? So growth can look a number of different ways, and it just depends on what your focus is for that particular segment of time that you're setting the goal for. So first is financial goals, second is growth goals, and then third is what I like to call experience goals. And this right here, I feel like is overlooked by a lot of businesses, because I don't know why, but I just feel like a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, overlook this experience part, right? And experience is probably the most crucial, because experience is where you measure your satisfaction of your customers. It is where you measure the strength of your team. It is where you measure the user friendliness of your website, which is a direct result to the amount of conversions you get on your website. This is where you measure all of that. And so I call it experience, because I believe your brand should be giving your audience a certain experience. And so I like to call that third area for you to set your goals as experience. So you have financial, growth, and then experience goals. And all three of these are super important. And I want to remind you to not just set the financial goals. Sometimes we get stuck just setting these financial goals, but in reality, these three areas of goals, they actually work very well together, because if you improve your experience, your customers are more inclined to actually share the word about your products and your brand for you, which then will help with your growth. And if you're growing at a faster rate, that can then help with your sales or your revenue. So these three actually do work very well together, which is why it's important for you to set goals in those three areas. Now, let's get into the method that I use to set goals. Quick disclaimer, in order for this method to work for you, you need to make sure that you are setting SMART goals. And no, I'm not saying the word SMART, I'm saying the acronym SMART, okay? So the acronym stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound goals, okay? And this is something that I literally hit the members of the eHustle Club over the head with every single time we have a class, because it is so important, okay? So you must be setting SMART goals. And if you have absolutely no idea what SMART goals are, or if you want to learn how to set your own, click the link in my description box and join the eHustle Club, because if I went into detail on this video, we'd be here for hours. And it is just so much information within the eHustle Club, especially for new and aspiring entrepreneurs. It is a whirlwind of masterclasses, guest speaker sessions, resources, bonus workbooks, and things like that within the eHustle Club, which will help you learn all of the branding fundamentals and all the marketing essentials you need to launch your business and maintain your business, okay? So definitely check out the eHustle Club if you're interested. Once you have already set your SMART goals, right, it is time to use the GST method, y'all, okay? So the GST method is basically broken down into this cool little diagram, okay? And so the diagram starts off with this huge circle at the top, and it breaks off into two other circles and then into three circles on each side. And that breaks down the GST method. And so what that stands for is the G stands for goals, the S stands for strategy, and the T stands for tactics. So your goal is the big picture thing that you want to achieve, okay? So this is where you put your SMART goal. In that huge circle, this is what you want to achieve. So whether it's your financial goal you're breaking down right now, or whether it's your growth goal or your experience goal, you're putting that in that circle right at the top, because that is your goal. That is the big picture. That is the end result that you want to achieve at a minimum. Your strategy is then the method that you are going to use to actually achieve that goal. So the brain power, like what exactly are you going to do to get to that goal, right? And strategy, that's why people always say strategic. So strategic goals, you get it? So you want to go ahead and create that strategy. Then your tactics fall within that strategy. Your tactics are the smaller kind of to-do items, but not necessarily task related, but they're kind of those smaller things that need to get done because they make up your strategy. And this is all going to make sense in a minute, because I am going to give you a real deal example, but I just want to show you how it breaks down, okay? So it's goal, strategy, and then tactics. And for me, I always break my goal into two different strategies for a reason. So if one strategy isn't working for you, the other one can pick up the slack. And then those strategies break down into their own tactics. So that is the GST method, which I always draw this diagram. Don't skip this part. Please draw the diagram. Now that you know what the method is, I want to give you a real deal example. So for this part of the video, I am going to use a real brand for this example, right? And so the brand that I am deciding to use today is Makari Beauty, okay? And let me tell y'all, she sent me this body scrub, this facial oil, this body oil, and this body butter, and all of it smells so amazing. Not only that, but it feels amazing. Like, I don't even like the smell of peach, and the fact that I literally just open this and just smell it, it's just so good. Like, I want to eat it, and I really don't even like peach, y'all. This is A1, and her visual branding is on point. And because this is like one of my favorite brands that I got, you know, that someone has sent me, I want to use it for this example. Okay, so we're going to be using Makari Beauty. She sells stuff for your face, stuff for your body, for your skin, to keep you glowing, looking good. So go ahead and check her out. I'm going to make sure that I put her information on the screen, and I'll also put her information in the description box. But let's get into this example. Let's say that Makari had the sales goal of making $5,000 for the month of July, okay? So what I would do is I would put 5,000 in that goal circle at the top, and then I would make sure that I'm writing it out using the SMART formula, okay? So I would write that goal out using the SMART formula. Then I would break that down into my S and my T, because that's the next step in the diagram. So let's say to reach that $5,000 sale goal that I have, one of the strategies that I want to use is an influencer marketing strategy. So I'm gonna put influencer marketing strategy in that strategy circle. And then I'm gonna break that strategy into tactics. So like I said before, your strategy is how you plan on achieving the goal. And then your tactics are the smaller items that make up the strategy. And you don't just pull your goal or your strategy out of thin air. These are created off of past data that you have, or like industry data that you use, okay? And if you want more information about that, like I said, this video will be hours long if I went into detail, but that is how I set up my goals, and that is how I create my strategy. Is I use proven numbers to make informed decisions and to create an actual strategy, okay? So Makari wants to get $5,000 worth of sales for the month of July. Her strategy is that she is going to use an influencer marketing campaign. Now I'm going to break that strategy into 3 different tactics. One of her tactics is that she is going to choose 2 influencers that have high engagement and have her audience within their audience, and I'm going to have them alternate with when they post. So I'm going to have them post twice a week, and I'm going to have them alternate back and forth between both of the influencers. The second tactic is I'm gonna use the content they create. So I'm gonna take their videos and their pictures, and I'm gonna turn those into ads, and I'm gonna run them, because I believe when my audience sees a familiar face with my product, they'll be more inclined to actually want to click through to my website versus seeing someone that they don't know. So I'm gonna use that content and repurpose it into an ad. The third tactic that I am going to do for Makari is I am going to take some pictures of my influencer with my product, and I'm going to highlight that influencer on my homepage. I'm also going to take the video that they record using my product within their self-care routine, and I'm going to highlight that on my page as well, on my homepage on my website. Because what that's going to do is, let's say someone clicks through from the ad that they saw with the influencer on it, they then go to my website and they see that influencer again on my homepage. It connects in their head. It's a psychology thing, right? And so as you can see, I took that big picture goal of $5,000, broke it into a strategy, and then broke that strategy into tactics. So now that you have those tactics, Makari and I can sit down and actually create a to-do list. So that is where your to-do list actually comes from. So remember earlier I said I would buy planner after planner, and it would have a to-do list section in it, but I didn't know what to put in there, right? Now I know exactly what I need to do and by when, because I start by setting a SMART goal, and then I break it down into my strategy, and then I break it down into tactics, and those tactics tell me what I need to do in order to accomplish those things, right? So for example, if I need to find 2 influencers with an audience that's similar to mine and with high engagement, I should probably do some research and create a spreadsheet of different influencers that have a similar audience. I should probably then find a platform that calculates engagement rates so that I can see the engagement rates of the influencers that I put on that sheet. I should then probably create some type of pitch template email or something like that so that I can reach out to these influencers in the hopes of them responding and agreeing to partner with my brand. So these are all to-do list items that I've derived from my tactics, which are a part of my strategy, and my strategy is what I'm going to do to achieve my goal. So as you see, doing this gives you action steps that you need to take, which is why when you do the GST method, you are able to achieve your goals faster. It's clearer for you when you are on the path to achieving your goals, and it is more fulfilling because you know what you did, when you did it, and how you did it. So if you didn't reach your goal for some reason, you can still look back and use the data that you collected to make a better strategy for next time. So there you have it. That is the method that I use to set goals. And when I tell you that I use this every month, every quarter, and when I'm setting my yearly goals as well, I am not kidding. This is what I use every single time. It has proven to be such a success to me, and I hope that it's super helpful to you as well. So please comment down below if you felt like this video was helpful, and let me know, do you plan on using the GST method for your business? I would love to hear about it. Now, when it comes to the GST method, I know that creating strategy can be kind of difficult because you want to make sure that you get it right the first time. I also know that when it comes to setting SMART goals, you want to make sure that you have that blueprint so that the goals that you're setting are actually attainable, but that you're also reaching your full potential. And so if this is you, if you feel like this, I advise you to give the eHustle Club a try, right? I'm gonna put the link in my description box, but it is perfect for you if you are a new entrepreneur or if you're an aspiring entrepreneur and you really want to learn the branding foundation, the marketing essentials, and even some business skills that you need to be a successful entrepreneur and to launch and maintain a successful business, okay? Now, we do have some members within the eHustle Club who aren't new entrepreneurs. They've been in the game for a few years, but they still join the eHustle Club because they like those monthly classes and those guest speaker sessions to kind of refresh their strategy and keep them on their toes. So if that's you, go ahead and check it out as well. Follow me on Instagram at The Brand Hustler. If you're not already, your girl is back on Instagram. So please engage with my posts, comment, give me all of what you have for me, okay? On my Instagram at The Brand Hustler. If you're not subscribed to this channel already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I don't know what you're waiting for, but okay, we got the videos back too. So I am excited. Like, I literally planned out 2 months worth of videos and I am back with a vengeance. But yes, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, hustle babes.